On May 17, 2001, 17-year-old Alissa Turney, a seemingly typical high school junior from Paradise Valley, Arizona, vanished without a trace. At first, authorities dismissed her disappearance as the impulsive act of a rebellious teenager. After all, she had left behind a handwritten note claiming she'd run away to California. But over time, puzzle pieces began to shift, revealing a darker, far more chilling truth. Someone close to Alissa, someone harboring a disturbing, long-standing obsession, held the key to unraveling the mystery. So, what really happened to Alissa Turney? What secrets still haunt the shadows of her disappearance?
Paradise Valley, a wealthy, picturesque suburb in Maricopa County, is known for its resort lifestyle, upscale shopping, and pristine golf courses. With a population just over 12,000, this Phoenix enclave hardly seems like the setting of a sister's nightmare. Yet statistically, crime affects around 47 out of every 1,000 residents each year, and it is here that Alissa Turney's story begins. Born on April 3, 1984, Alissa Marie Turney entered the world to parents Stephen Strom and Barbara Feiner Strom. Barbara already had a son, John, from a previous relationship. The marriage didn't last. By 1987, Barbara was dating a new man, Michael Roy Turney, a former deputy with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Michael, a single father himself to three boys, Rhett, James, and Mike, quickly blended their families, marrying Barbara and officially adopting Alissa and her brother, John. In 1993, the family welcomed a new daughter, Sarah. To the outside world, they were the picture-perfect American family. Behind closed doors, a different story unfolded. In 1992, tragedy struck twice. Michael lost his job in the electrical field, and Barbara received a devastating cancer diagnosis. On February 28, 1993, Barbara died, and everything changed. Alissa, then only 9, was left in the care of her stepfather, Michael, along with her much younger sister, Sarah. Over time, Michael became increasingly strict and obsessive, especially and specifically with Alissa. As she grew into her teenage years, Alissa rebelled in small, typical ways, possibly dabbling in marijuana, occasionally skipping class at Paradise Valley High School, and working a part-time job at Jack in the Box. But Michael's reaction wasn't typical. He monitored her phone calls, searched her belongings, even watched her shifts at Jack in the Box from the parking lot, and, as would later be discovered, recorded nearly everything inside the house. May 17, 2001, Alyssa's final day of junior year, she attended school as usual. Around 11 a.m., she briefly stepped into the classroom of her boyfriend, John, telling him Mike, her stepdad, was picking her up early and that she'd see him at a party that night. She was never seen again. Michael later admitted he picked Alissa up for lunch to celebrate the end of the school year and at her request. According to his story, they argued about her desire for more independence. He brought her home around 1 p.m. and then left to run errands. He claimed the last time he saw Alissa, she was storming off to her bedroom. Meanwhile, Sarah, finishing a 7th grade water park field trip, expected Michael to pick her up. He never showed. She walked home with a friend and found the house locked and silent. When Michael finally arrived, he was pale and panicked, demanding she call Alissa. There was no answer. Inside Alyssa's room, chaos. Her backpack dumped, belongings scattered, unusual disarray. Then they found her phone and a handwritten note. Dad and Sarah, when you dropped me off at school today, I decided that I really am going to California. Sarah, you said you didn't want me around. Look, you got it, I'm gone. That's why I saved my money. Dad, I took $300 from you. Alissa. Michael contacted police that night, but with Alissa technically old enough to run away and a note in her handwriting, authorities labeled her a runaway. No interviews, no search of the home, no follow-up. A week later, Michael told police he received a call from a Riverside, California payphone. He claimed Alissa cussed at him, screamed to leave her alone. then hung up. But the story didn't quite add up. Alissa had left behind all her cash, over $800, plus her phone, keys, makeup, and clothes. Months passed. Summer turned to fall. Alissa never returned for her senior year. Reality began sinking in. She wasn't coming home. In 2006, Alissa's cold case exploded back into the spotlight. Convicted murderer Thomas Heimer, serving life in prison in Florida, claimed he had killed 21 women, and Alissa Turney was one of them. He described meeting her in Phoenix in May 2001. Detectives flew to interrogate him. His gruesome confession, strangulation, dismemberment, shocked investigators. But holes quickly appeared. He claimed Alissa was a heroin addict, something family and friends knew wasn't true. He failed a polygraph. Detectives concluded he'd likely seen Alissa's story in the news and inserted himself for attention. Though Heimer's lies collapsed, they accomplished one thing. They put Alissa's case back on Phoenix detective desks. In 2008, a deeper investigation into the Turney household revealed disturbing details. Michael had wired surveillance cameras all over the property and installed a passive recorder on the house phone. He recorded every call, but conveniently, there was no tape from Alyssa's disappearance and no recording of the payphone call from California. Detectives found Michael evasive. He refused a formal interview. Then came a bombshell. On December 11, 2008, officers raided the Turney home. What they found required evacuating over 100 neighbors. Inside, 30-plus improvised explosive devices, 19 loaded assault rifles, homemade silencers, a van packed with gasoline. Also discovered hidden VHS tapes of Alissa, dating back decades, but none from that crucial final day. Most chilling of all was a 98-page manifesto titled Diary of a Madman Martyr, in which Michael ranted that the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers had kidnapped and murdered Alissa as retaliation, and detailed his plan to blow up their union hall in revenge. Michael was sentenced to 10 years, not for Alissa, but for possession of pipe bombs. While Michael served time, Alissa's younger sister, Sarah Turney, launched her own investigation. She filed public record requests, built social media pages under Justice for Alissa, raised funds for billboards, and in 2019 launched the Voices for Justice podcast. During COVID lockdowns, she took to TikTok and went viral. Tens of millions learned Alyssa's story. She even recorded and published her own conversation with Michael, where, disturbingly, he told her he'd only tell the truth on his deathbed. On August 20th, 2020, nearly 20 years after Alyssa's disappearance, Michael Turney was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The trial began on July 6, 2023. Prosecutors laid out extensive circumstantial evidence, Michael's obsessive surveillance, controlling nature, mounting lies, and disturbing recordings. But with no body, no DNA, and no definitive cause of death, the defense argued there was reasonable doubt. On July 17th, 2023, the judge ruled there was insufficient evidence to continue. Michael Turney was acquitted. He walked free. Sarah, heartbroken but unbroken, vowed to never give up on finding justice for her big sister, Alissa, and her legacy. So we end where we began, searching for answers as to where Alissa Turney could be today. There have been many what ifs, but never any definitive answers. A sister's battle continues to find answers, and hopefully Alissa can be brought home soon. Thank you for watching my coverage of this case. If you have any information, please contact the detectives assigned. If you enjoyed my coverage, please subscribe. Thank you for your time, stay safe, and look out for one another. Bye.